For today's post, I'd like to talk a little bit about the mix, but since I'm putting the building into the side of a hill, we've got a little digging to do first. So let's go. Okay, what you're looking at here is, I guess you'd call it a footer mix, but it's not really a footer mix. This is the mix that we're going to be using in the walls. And the reason we're using our wall mix in the footers is because we got a lot of testing that we have to do. Because in the beginning, I said we're going to do a lot of different concrete things. Well, one of the things is that we're doing some research and development on a new polycarboxylate admixture that hopefully we can get long periods of pot life with. So other information that we needed off this footer mix is, as I said, we needed to do a maturity curve on this mix. And in order to do that, you have to have the concrete, and you can do it in the lab and make a lab mix and get the information, but it's always better if you can actually get concrete from the plant out of the truck and use that as your baseline. So this ready mix truck that you're seeing right now stopped off at our plant, which is 12 miles from the job, and we took a sample and did all our normal testing of air, slump, unit weight, temperature, yield, etc. And then we made 16 cylinders and put them in a cure box and cured them all at 85 degrees at a static temperature. And we'll break those cylinders starting around, 12 to 16 hours, and then every so often after that, and then that will be the benchmarks for developing the maturity curve to give us the ability to predict the in-place strength of the concrete as it cures. Now, when you look at this concrete here, it's a real good looking mix, and part of the reason is that we are using pea stone. You don't have to use pea stone all the time for stuff like this, but because we're going to be putting it in the wall, and we got some fairly decent rebar configuration, we want to be able to flow throughout the wall without much impedance. So this mix right here borders on being a self-consolidating mix, but you can see the aggregate all the way through the surface, and that's usually indicative of something that we call flowing concrete, not self-consolidating concrete. If it was self-consolidating concrete, you'd only see about 30% of that aggregate on top, and it'd be a little bit more fluid. But one of the key indicators that the mix isn't too fluid is to be able to see that 30% of aggregate. So anyway, we're pretty happy with the concrete. It looks good. There's 610 pounds of cement in here, which is far more than you would normally use, but for testing purposes and some other things that we got going on, we decided to go with this type of mix. And we'll see how it goes. So now that we've seen all this, we're ready to finish out the footer pour and get on to tomorrow's post where we start talking about the results of the maturity curve. Take care.